well, Michael can answer, but Rivka, you have a bunch of kids. And how you handle the relationship? Of course, you already found your husband, and then you have all these kids. But how do you choose everyday soulmate, as Heinz says, with all the kids and all the things that you have to do?
Okay, thank you. It's a very important question, and the trick is that you need literally to choose life, meaning you have to keep your sense of humor. It has to be fun. At least that's my life motto. And you don't want to lose yourself as a person, as a woman, because life chores, they will happen, and especially if you work and it's the house and so many responsibilities, and there's the calendar is packed. But the idea is, how do you still find time for yourself? And the truth, I wasn't very balanced for many years. I simply put work first. I did take care of very much of the children. For those of you who know us, my husband is very talented, Leo. He speaks 4 languages, and he's also a Kabbalah teacher. Most of you know Igal. So we traveled a lot. So we lived in literally many countries, but my children didn't speak the language, like Russia, Brazil, Mexico. By the time we moved to Canada, they didn't have the English for school, and by the time we moved to Israel, they didn't have the Hebrew. So I had to be very involved in school and with the children, always, to make sure not only that their grades are good and education is always there, but also that they have their peace of mind, and they're also in sport, and that they're growing as we would like them to grow. And I have to say that many times, actually, relationship and marriage was like the last priority, because it's already there, and it's just happening. And especially with us, we both dedicated to do the important work of spreading the light. And of course, it wasn't a good decision. And something happened to me that I had, I'll make it super short, I had a very rare skin disease, and I had to be in a hospital. It happened in Israel. And I was hospitalized for 10 days. And for 10 days, it was very rare disease. It actually has a very funny name. It's called the sweet syndrome, if you're familiar. It's nothing but sweet. It's very scary. But it took them a very long time to discover what it was. I had a very high fever for like 5 days. They couldn't put down the fever. They did any check they could from head to toes. And after 10 days, they said, you have to be happy that we didn't find anything. But I remember my mom came to visit me, and she brought me a magazine, which I love to read magazines. And I was sitting and reading a magazine in my hospital bed, and I was thinking to myself, wow, when was the last time I actually read a magazine? And I couldn't remember. And I said, okay, I don't need to get to a hospital bed to have the luxury to sit down and read a magazine. It stops here. And I realized I over doing things. I spoke to my mom and I said, I can't believe Igal needs to drive the kids now. They used to do wrestling. It was very demanding, 3 times a week. She looked at me and she said, but you used to do it, which I completely didn't feel, because I was so dedicated, so compromised to everything I had to take care of but myself. So I literally took a piece of paper and I wrote Sunday to Saturday. Till today, I have one calendar where I keep everything I need to do between work, home, anything I need to do. And then I said, okay, what do I love to do? And I said, I really miss dancing. I was a dancer. But I put it with Igal. So we found a salsa club, which I'm really happy today. Ricky, soon you'll see the trainer, the professional trainer. He's really proud of us right now. And I registered ourselves, and I said, just give me the night you don't teach. And I just put it in his calendar, and this was our date night, because I have to say, before that, our date night was the supermarket. And we were the weirdest couple, going to the supermarket after all the class, basically at 10:30 p.m., wearing a suit, and I'm with high heels going to the supermarket, and we're having the time of our life, because finally we can talk, right? You don't need to live like that. You know, you can have balance. You don't need to hang out while buying groceries at 11 p.m. Really, it's not the idea. There's no need. But I started to put things that I miss, you know, going to concerts, you know. And if you put the attention and the priorities, I started to put it, you know, in buying tickets in advance because it became a priority. And when we went to the salsa club, I mean, we were more stepping on each other and laughing like two teenagers, you know. But this was our, you know, night out, and we needed that. We didn't realize how much we needed it. And of course, more conversation. And one of the things, of course, I have to say is sense of humor. Sense of humor. In the beginning, you know, you take two alpha people and you put them together. There's a lot of, you know. Yeah, so we kind of figure out how to laugh at, you know, our mistakes. We didn't take ourselves too serious, and that's when we started to build together instead of the competition and chasing on each other. And wait, you didn't do that perfect enough, and that's what's missing. It was more, okay, so let's do it together. So it was more consulting each other. It was more, okay, you're not pointing fingers. I know you want to help me, so let's do this together. And of course, that's part